What was the biggest historical event in your lifetime?
Taking care of my doggy. Almost learning how to swim. It's not coming up yet, but on Christmas there's going to be a new president. I was actually in the newspaper. I don't know. When Syria was using illegal guns. I don't know.
Last year, 2 years ago, when they announced that they approved gay rights or something. I think they approved gay rights. Yeah.
I said my first word on 9/11. My whole family was looking at the TV, and I wanted them to pay attention to me. So I said up because I wanted to be picked up.
Probably the gay marriage.
9/11.
Obama getting elected.
I would say 9/11.
The introduction of smartphones into the world.
The downing of the World Trade Center.
I remember when 9/11 happened, being in class and hearing about it and having all the TVs turned to that station.
9/11.
Don't really have an answer to that.
9/11.
9/11.
The September 11th attacks.
9/11.
9/11.
The day that I remember the Twin Towers falling.
I definitely, 9/11, I saw that I was a sophomore in high school.
Definitely 9/11.
The terrorist attacks of 9/11.
Probably 9/11.
9/11.
The Twin Towers. 9/11.
9/11.
Barack Obama being elected as president.
President Obama becoming president of the United States.
The Mets winning the World Series.
The first African-American president.
Seeing the Berlin Wall get broken in pieces.
Oh, God. Obama being elected.
Biggest one was definitely 9/11.
Having an African-American elected president.
Probably 9/11.
9/11.
I think the advent of the internet.
The attempted assassination of Ronald Reagan.
Well, I would have to say all the monumental moments in my kids' lives. 9/11 was the biggest, the most impactful in my life.
9/11.
9/11.
9/11.
9/11. 9/11.
The most disturbing historical event was the World Trade Center.
The World Trade Center's towers going down.
A man walking on the moon.
Probably the assassination of John Kennedy.
Man landing on the moon.
Probably 9/11.
I was in Portugal when they went through a revolution. So to me, that was really a turning point historically.
The assassination of John F. Kennedy?
Biggest historical event in my lifetime is definitely 9/11.
When the World Trade Center collapsed.
The election of the first black president.
SpaceX heading to the International Space Station.
9/11.
I was caught in 9/11. I was right next to Building 1 when it came down, and that, I think, was probably the biggest historical event.
The assassination of President John F. Kennedy.
Historically, for everybody, the assassination of John Kennedy and, of course, 9/11.
The civil rights movement was extraordinary.
John F. Kennedy's death.
9/11.
During my lifetime, probably the moon landing.